this is a piece about relationship between my mother and myself, and the communications we have. And mother and myself has no severe conflicts or anything like that, but there's certainly communication breakdowns, and mother doesn't speak Mandarin or English. There's only dialect, which is Teochew dialect, one type of dialects in China. And my dialect is very limited. So there's always difficulties in, for example, explaining to her what do I do, what is art making, and this kind of things that I'm doing. So it happens in probably early 90, when I was trying to find out what I want to do with my life and very concerned with how to carry on with it. And I was in London, I remember, and make a call back to Singapore during Christmas Eve, trying to greet her New Year. And it was on the phone, I realized that all I could say to mother was that, have you eaten? And on the other side, I heard mother keep saying that, have you got enough money to carry on? If you haven't got enough money, come back. And we really obviously miss each other and like to say I loved you, but there's no words for that. There's no language, no vocabulary to say I loved you. So that struck me that this is a very important issue that I should confront sometime. But somehow when I got back to Singapore, there was no courage to confront this issue of myself. Well, in Chinese culture, when you reach a certain age, you prepare yourself for the funeral, and this is a kind of portrait we made. And mother came to me and said that I'd like to make this portrait. At the time when I was approached, I was really, on the one hand, I felt very good because she seems to appreciate what I do. I have been taking photographs for the families, and that seems to be sort of a kind of an acknowledgement to me. And on the other hand, it seems to me that mother seems to know times are coming, and that made me realize that I have to confront these issues before it is too late for me. So that's how I decided to start. And after we made that portrait, and she was very happy with that portrait, and then I continued with that and naturally used photography as the media, and then we started making photographs together. That's how this whole piece started. And this is since 1995, so this has been, there has been maybe, this is the 6th installation now, yeah. And in the Chinese culture, I mean, in my memory, when I was telling myself that when I started making art, making the work with my mother, the first things that comes to mind at that time was to have a body contact with her, the touch. And in this culture, in this Chinese culture, touch is not encouraged. For example, we don't hug really so much. And that was how it started with the first series of photographs where body touching body, with this body contact. Yeah. As the whole thing progressed or developed, now I began to look into the family album, looking into all the old photographs and extract the old photographs, certain part of the old photographs, and then reconstruct them using the present body and reconstructing a new photograph. And the idea, I suppose, is to recollect or revisiting these memories and our personal history, and then trying to reinterpret this history, this past, and reconstruct perhaps our relations. I think mother, it's my primary source. The whole issues of looking into my own identity in a Singaporean context. I'm sorry. Going back to my mother, it seems to be, to me, it's going back to this primary source and trying to reconnect with her. And in searching for this cultural identity and also sexual identity. Mother comes from China when she was a baby, and I was born in Singapore, and I have inherited also about 150 years colonial influence, and of course my Chinese culture as well. So there's this constant conflict within me, the Western influence and the Chinese influence. So this whole issues of working with my mother is a constant dealing with this, these clashes of the culture. Yeah.